Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I Wrong? And it's by user TA Work HR Complaint. Am I wrong for reporting my coworker friend to HR after she told me she is not interested in me? I, 27 male, reported my colleague Alana, mid-30s female, to HR, which led to her getting kicked off a project. Many of my other co-workers think my move was crappy, but I was just trying to protect myself. I wanted to get an opinion on if what I did was correct or if I'm acting like an a-hole and should take my complaint back. Alana and I have been working together for 4 years together. We work in consulting, which means we have to travel across the country for 3 to 4 days a week. Since Alana and I have similar expertise, we generally get put on the same projects and travel together to our clients' offices. We got along really well and made a great team. We generally coordinated our flights, booked cars together, and always had our lunch and dinner together when we visit our clients. We were just really good friends at this point, and I would always be excited when I was put on a project with Alana. People around the office have called us work spouses in the past, and we quickly shut it down so as to keep our relationship professional. We also texted each other outside work, but it was mostly about coordinating our travels, etc. Now, Alana got married 2 years ago, and I attended the wedding. And she also had mentioned in the past how her husband jokingly mentioned that he is a bit jealous of her spending more time with me than him. She always says he checks her work phone and our messages, and I have never ever sent anything unprofessional to her anyways. Then 2 months ago, when Alana and I were traveling, she told me during dinner that she wants to keep our relationship strictly professional, as she wants to be a loyal wife. It was weird, since I never once insinuated that I was into her. That's when she told me she developed a stupid crush on me, but would never act on it. She also told her husband about it, and he wanted her to communicate with me directly, that nothing will ever happen between us. I told her she has nothing to worry about, and I also just view her as a great coworker. She asked me if we could avoid getting drinks after work or going to dinners regularly, as it makes her husband insecure. I said okay, but I was kind of annoyed about it. I stopped inviting her for dinner every night and generally went out alone. I also informed my manager about the conversation, as I did not want anyone to think I was being inappropriate. Things cooled down for the last 2 months, and I would just talk to Alana during our office hours. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago. Alana messaged me out of the blue one night to see if I wanted to meet for dinner. I said okay, and we met. A few drinks in, Alana got a bit emotional and told me how she misses hanging out with me, and it's all her husband's fault as he is very controlling and jealous. She told me that she wants our old friendship back, and she does not care about what he thinks anymore. I told her that as much as I like to hang out with her, I am really just here to do my job, and I do not want to be an issue in whatever is going on between her and her husband. I told her to just continue the way we are right now and only interact during office hours. She got really angry at me and called me names for not supporting her when she was sharing her problems with me. I was a bit worried about our interactions, and after consulting my girlfriend, I informed HR about our conversation. I told them that Alana did not do anything unprofessional, but I really do not want to be involved in her personal life and issues, and want to make a record with HR about the same. HR was very cooperative, and in the next week, they replaced Alana with someone else on that project. Alana was beyond pissed that I told HR about our personal conversation and is bad-mouthing me around the company and with my colleagues. Everyone now thinks that I am not a team player and that it was a low blow to talk to HR and get her kicked off the project for such a trivial reason. I wanted to ask if I am being unfair in this scenario. I consider Alana as a friend, but I really don't want to be involved in the drama between her husband and her. If he is uncomfortable with me, I would rather take myself out of the equation than be a part of the problem. I complied with her requests to maintain my distance, and now I feel uncomfortable to go back to hanging out with her on our business trips. Moreover, I also wanted to ask what you guys think Alana's end game is here. She first shoved me off and practically told me to get away from her, like I was a creep, and now wants to hang out again even though her husband hates it. It's deeply confusing to me what she even intends to achieve. Well, OP, personally, no, I do not think you're wrong, and also I couldn't care less what her endgame is. You just need to keep your distance from Alana. She is not good news at all. What you did with being absolutely open with your manager and HR about this whole uncomfortable situation that was going to get you tangled in was the best thing you could have possibly done. I don't know if she wanted to rope you into some sort of emotional work affair or something like that, but whatever issues she has with her husband, she needs to address them, either separate or divorce or go to counseling, but it has nothing to do with you. Now, I do have a problem with her bad-mouthing you to other people, because that's creating a hostile work environment for you, so I would actually go to HR again and talk about this. What I wouldn't do is try to clear your name by telling other people what happened, because then she could be the one that files a complaint for a toxic work environment against you. So be careful, OP. Bottom line for me, OP, is I would avoid Alana as best as I can. She is not a friend. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? What would you do? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Sunny Gator says, not wrong. It sounds like you have mature and appropriate boundaries concerning your job. She sounds like she's destabilizing your work environment with her complicated home life and feelings for you. It's not at all trivial to talk to HR to avoid being dragged into this couple's fight, risking your job and your own relationship. Nobody got time for that. I hope the situation eases up soon for you and everyone involved. Bond MI6 says, I think from an HR perspective, you probably handled this by the book, and if it came up in a yearly training scenario, they'd consider your actions the correct answer. Now, as far as what she was thinking, she wanted to bang you and feels rejected and probably has some regrets about her choice in marriage. She obviously felt y'all had more than just a professional work relationship. And Absurd Name 5231 says, a dude can never be too careful at work regarding this kind of stuff. If you had done any of those things to her, telling her you had a crush on her, inviting her out on obvious dates, coming on to her, etc., you'd be guilty, at least socially, of sexual harassment or whatever. She sounds really unstable, and if you had let things go on, you'd likely end up with some kind of accusation against you, and no one would know how it all started. You're just protecting yourself and your livelihood, and that's a lot more important than some girl's rom-com fantasy of having a guy chase after her or whatever. Tell your co-workers the exact truth of what happened. If they still don't get it, they probably didn't like you to begin with, or they're just too dumb to worry about. So the community agrees that OP is not wrong, and they gave him some advice on how to deal with this. Now, OP did not reply to any comments or give us an edit, which means we move on straight to the update to see how this story ends. I had posted a month ago regarding reporting my married colleague Alana after she asked me to stop interacting with her outside office hours because she had a crush on me, and then later told me that she wants to hang out with me again. I wanted to thank everyone for a lot of insightful comments. They really helped me make sense of the situation. I wanted to give an update as a lot of things have happened during the last month and I have no idea what I have done to deserve all of this. After I reported her to HR was cooperative and talked to her and replaced her from the project. It would be an understatement to say that she was pissed. Many of my colleagues also did not like what I did as they thought Alana's actions were okay and she was just putting up strong boundaries between us. If she decides that she feels comfortable interacting with me again, then I should respect it and not escalate the matter. And how about how you feel? Doesn't that count? After pressure from many of my colleagues and also my manager, I took back my complaint. I told HR that I would be comfortable working with Alana again. My girlfriend Lisa was not thrilled, but I argued that I had maintained my professional boundaries for all these years, and nothing would change on my end. I also took Alana out for lunch and apologized for overreacting. She was happy and said it's all water under the bridge and we should go back to being friends as normal. I told her that we should still keep our boundaries as she is married and I do not want to cause any unnecessary drama. She told me that the incident did cause her a lot of stress, especially with her husband, as she was suddenly thrown off the project due to an HR complaint. Although Alana told him that there is nothing between us, he assumed the worst, that we were having an affair and hence she was removed from the project. She started telling me how insecure her husband is and is being very controlling in this situation. She realized I was becoming uncomfortable and told me she would not burden me with her personal stuff. Right. So, as we started traveling together again, things went back to normal for a while. We did not have dinners or drinks after work and kept things very professional. However, 2 weeks ago, Alana asked me to meet for dinner after work. We went out for dinner and then drinks afterward. She told me that she asked her husband for separation. He is in the process of moving out that week. She said that I was not the reason, but in general, she could not take how controlling he was acting. She said that instead of standing with her during the HR incident, he blamed her, and that led to her realizing that she did not want to be with him anymore. I really felt sorry for her, and she hugged me and became very emotional that night. When I came back, I told Lisa about the whole incident. Lisa got angry at me and told me that I should not have met her for dinner. She told me it is not acceptable for me now to work and travel with her again, as Alana is now single and already confessed she has a crush on me. We fought about it, and I told her that my job would always involve traveling if I want to climb the corporate ladder, and as long as I do not do anything wrong, she cannot dictate my actions. To clarify, Lisa was not comfortable with me traveling and working with Alana because of her separation from her husband. I felt it was unfair because it's her personal life and it should not affect how I treat her at work. I know there will always be an Alana and there will always be situations to make my partners insecure as I will be traveling for work. However, I cannot always be walking on eggshells and I need my partner to trust me completely. We fought for a week and I broke up with her. It sucks, but I do not see myself being with someone who dictates how I behave in my professional life. It still hurts, but I feel I made the right decision. Alana and I again traveled last week and met every evening. We are just going through the same crap without any fault of ours, and it's good to have my friend back. I feel bad for Alana as she was married and her husband didn't even hear her side and just came to the worst conclusion on his own. I feel worse for Lisa, but she was punishing me even though I never did anything wrong. She called me the worst possible things and is blasting me on social media for wasting her time. Now, I'm wondering if it was my fault for our breakup or if people should trust their partners when they have never given them a reason for suspecting them. Well, OP, call me a skeptical cynic, but my impression is that you've already slept with Alana, and in a few months you might be here with another post about how your career has been ruined. Still, I do understand your point of partners trusting when they haven't been given a reason for suspecting the other one. But this whole situation was just one big mess. I wouldn't have taken away the complaint, I would have dodged Alana as much as I could, and I would have gone to HR regarding a toxic work environment because of the gossip. So here's hoping I am absolutely wrong about everything and that your life turns out great. On that note, take care, OP, and thanks for sharing. Now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user Karina Termina. Am I the a-hole for getting jeans that won't fit my sister? My sister, 24 female, is really upset with me, 16 female. Recently, I bought a few new pairs of jeans. My normal size used to be about a 30, but over the course of a few months, I lost a lot of weight and my size dropped to about a 25 or 24 depending on the brand. My sister had always been the skinnier of the two of us, so whenever she gained some weight, she would borrow my jeans because she was too fat to fit in her normal pair, a 26. And my clothes were the only things that would fit her without her going out to buy new clothes. Yesterday, I went to the mall with my friends and bought some new clothes because the majority of my wardrobe didn't fit me anymore. I bought a few tops, shoes, and 3 pairs of jeans. When I got home, I put the clothes to wash and went to my room. After about an hour, my sister walked into my room visually upset, holding my jeans. I noticed she was carrying them and apologized to her because I assumed that they were done for a while, so I was hogging the washing machine and perhaps she wanted to put her loads of clothes to wash. When I went to grab them from her, she stepped away, not letting me take them. I asked her what's wrong and she asked whose jeans were these. I told her they were for me and took them from her arms so that I could put them to dry. She replied by saying they're way too small. I answered by saying that they fit me very well and I already tried them at the store to make sure. She scoffed and said, "Well, they won't fit me." I blinked and replied with, "Sorry, I guess you'll have to wear yours." She seemed even more upset and told me about how she gained weight and can only fit into my size. I listened and shook my head, replying that I'm not her size anymore. She left in a huff and I just watched. I'm a bit confused and I'm wondering if I said something wrong. A few hours later, she texted me that I shouldn't get used to my body right now because it was just puberty helping me and that I will gain all the weight back quickly. I don't know how to reply and I'm honestly a little concerned that maybe I was too insensitive about the situation. So am I the a-hole? No, OP, you're not the a-hole. It sounds to me like your sister's acting like an a-hole. First of all, in the past, whenever she would gain weight and needed to use the jeans that fit you, she would call that being too fat. Yeah, that's super nice of her. And now that she gained weight for whatever reason and you've lost it, she sent you these messages that you shouldn't get used to it, that you'll gain the weight back. Like, come on, who's being insensitive now? Finally, you bought those jeans for you, not to share, so if she doesn't fit in them, well, that's her problem, not yours. Again, OP, not the a-hole. I'd just do my best to ignore her. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Someone you don't know 70 says, "Not the a-hole. A 24-year-old woman is capable of buying her own jeans. She shouldn't be depending on her little sister to provide her with them." Major Barnacle 2212 says, "For someone with such great clothing and size advice to give out, you'd think she'd just buy clothes in her own size. You did nothing wrong. She seems to be insecure about the change in your size. Unfortunately, it's an example of someone who can't just be supportive of you without comparing it to themselves, not the a-hole." And No Salamander 7749 says, "You're not being insensitive. Just give her the other jeans that don't fit you anymore if you want. Your sister is being rude and acting quite entitled. Not the a-hole. You've done nothing wrong but buying new jeans that fit. This is unsolicited advice, but make sure you don't put your jeans in the dryer." Smiley face. Alright, well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole. So now let's move on to the first of 2 updates that OP has given us to see how this story ends. Thank you guys so much for your comments and suggestions. I'm reading everyone's responses and believe I didn't say anything wrong. I do feel bad because maybe my words were just triggering for her. I haven't thrown out any of my old clothes because I was planning to sort through them to see what I can keep and what I can donate. I'll take some clothes out for her and see if she wants them. I'll update if anything. The last message she sent me was a little questionable, saying, "You're gonna get pregnant." Completely lost on that comment, but I'm assuming maybe that was for someone else. I'll give her the clothes tomorrow because I know she has some stuff to do the rest of the week and needs something to wear. I really love my sister and hope she forgives me for anything I did to make her feel bad. Oh, P, I can't see this going well. If she got upset at you buying new clothes, how do you think she's gonna act when you give her your old clothes? That's not gonna end well. And again, OP, you did nothing to make her feel bad. It's all in her head. Anyways, let's move on to the final update. offering my old jeans to my sister was a bad idea. Not surprised. I brought a basket of my old clothes to her room and asked if she wanted to pick some stuff out. She seemed offended by the idea and said I was being rude and that she didn't need hand-downs. I took back the basket and she kicked me out of her room. I talked to my dad about what happened. Our mom isn't in the picture, and he said to just leave her alone, so I'll just be giving her space. Honestly, I have no clue what else I could have done. Nothing. Also, I'm sorry if I had offended anyone with my post. It truly wasn't my intention. A lot of people have messaged me that I was being a bit bratty for talking about what I was able to buy. I truly was just providing information, and I know that I am very fortunate to be able to afford new clothing and not be stuck with old ones. I also understand that perhaps I come off as very naive or stupid. I've seen a lot of people ask similar questions on this subreddit, and I wanted advice or any indication that I spoke out of line. I'm getting a lot of threats on here, so I thought I'd apologize to anyone I've triggered. I'm truly sorry. Oh, OP, don't let them get to you. You have done nothing wrong, neither to your sister or to the people that harassed you by messages. Here's the thing. People with single-ply toilet paper for skin are always going to be able to find something to either be offended about or feel slighted or whatever. And the fact is that there's nothing you can do or say to make it right for them. It's just a moral high ground power trip, so don't even react to it. And I don't think you're naive or stupid. I just think you're trying to be a good person. So on that note, thanks for sharing, OP, and take care. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.